Okay, y'all, tell me if I'm the only one. I turned 30 this year. I know, 30. I turned 30 in December, and I think I am ready to get married. Get married, start a family, buy a house, travel with somebody that I am in love with. The only thing is, I feel like that is such a memory now. I feel like in 2024, marriage is never the goal. Kids are not the goal. The family unit is not the goal anymore. I feel like everybody is just hooking up and then that's just it. And no offense to that, because I participated in hookup culture myself in my early 20s, a lot. So
Hold on, wait a minute. Wait a minute. We not just gonna skip over that part acting like it wasn't relevant, right? You can't sit here and say, I feel like marriage is not the goal for a lot of people in 2024, but then conveniently prior to having that conversation or prefacing the conversation by saying that you hooked up with a lot of men prior to. Look, guys don't want women. They may settle for certain type of women, but they don't want women that everybody done already been with. And so the value that you have is what somebody is willing to pay for it. That goes for every single thing in life. And so when you then say that, oh man, I'm ready to settle down, how you gonna start raising your standards? And I'm okay with the fact that you want to get married. Let's be clear, but let's just really qualify the conversation because now all of your points are moot, right? And I always like to highlight the content creator, so I'm always going to leave a link back to the content creator in the description of the video, right? And make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Link is in the description. Don't ask me where is the link. It's in the description. That's where the bag chasers are. But how can you then qualify or then have this conversation, but then at the same time say that you done already participated extensively in hookup culture? That means that what one person is supposed to get value. I mean, we could just throw virginity out the window, right? Because, and I'm gonna replay the whole video just so we can get the full context again. But that means what one person is willing to pay for, that means he's willing to die for you, give his life over to you, possibly have children with you. Somebody else and already got the best of you in the best years of your life when you were the most fertile, right? And then you made yourself available to a whole bunch of people that didn't even care anything about you, but then somebody else is supposed to pick up the pieces and then look at you as a queen, and a whole bunch of other people that's walking down the street potentially already didn't deal what it is that they wanted to do with you. And then women will sit there and say, well, men are insecure. No, we have standards and preferences. The same way that y'all have standards and preferences when y'all say that y'all don't want a man that's building. Y'all don't want a man that's actually trying to figure it out. You don't want a man that's making less than, 40 or $50,000 a year. You got preferences. And so guys then say, well, I don't want a woman that hadn't been had a whole lot of bodies. I think that that's a reasonable ask. So it's not that men don't want to get married, it's just that they can't find the quality of woman that fit the preferences that they have. And I'm not dissing her in particular. I'm using what she's saying as an example to illustrate a point. And now I know why you guys sent this to me. Guys have standards too, and so what they want to represent wife is different. And we've gotten so out of control nowadays that they could have multiple children by multiple different men and they still qualify themselves and say, well, I got higher standards now. What? Let me play this whole thing over because I want to make sure that I get the full context because I wasn't expecting that part.
okay, y'all, tell me if I'm the only one. I turned 30 this year. I know, 30. I turned 30 in December,
30 years
and
old.
I think I am ready to get married. Get married, start a family, buy a house, travel with somebody that I am in love with. The only thing is, I feel like that is such a memory now. I feel like in 2024, marriage is never the goal. Kids are not the goal.
The whole conversation just changes after I heard that part.
The family unit is not the goal anymore. I feel like everybody is just hooking up and then that's just it. And no offense to that, because I participated in hookup culture myself in my early 20s, a lot.
And they openly admit this on social media now. I'm so thankful that y'all are so truthful.
So, but but now I feel like
They think it's
we're
cute.
getting older. Why not? You know what I mean? I don't wanna be talking to multiple people at 30. I want to settle in and be married, and well, not married, but on my way to marriage and on my way to starting a family.
And it's I'm very thankful. I'm very, very thankful that I got married as a 42-year-old man when I was 22 years old, right? And most of you guys that follow me on this platform, you know my story. You know that I just celebrated my 20-year anniversary last June, right? As of the recording of this video. And I'm very thankful that I've been able to really, really build with the person that I'm with, and that it's been thick and thin, broke, richer, poor, and sickness and in health. Literally all of those things that we took a vow for at the altar. And when I hear a lot of these people talk, they not even marriage minded. She's saying, "Well, I mean, I'm not married." What do you mean? I knew that I was gonna marry the person that I was gonna marry shortly after I started interacting with her. Even when I was in high school, I already knew it. And so, what y'all allow for yourselves to do is to be infiltrated and to be burned and used and to have soul ties with people that you are not supposed to be associated with in the first place. And then you justify it by saying, well, that's just a part of the culture. And then you look at me funny when I say that, well, I don't agree with the culture because I think that it's trash because it's the thing that we celebrate the most. That's what becomes our cultural norm. And so now you can't find a husband because they don't value you the way that you think that you need to be valued as a wife, because you don't exhibit or you don't exemplify what a wife is in the eyes of the person that ultimately is supposed to propose to you. And so again, I go back to the original thing that I said, and that the value of something is what somebody is willing to pay for it. And if you are parading yourself around as for the streets and you live this street life, you can't really put that genie back in the bottle and you can't unsee what you saw. You can't take all of the stuff and all of the experiences that you had with other men and then try to make that somebody else's problem. And then he got to basically undress that thing and then peel that onion back and try to put you all back together because you don't even know the trauma that came along with sleeping with multiple different men as a woman, and you're not supposed to. You're supposed to be precious. You're supposed to be this gem. You're supposed to be this thing that's exalted, to never be touched or, you know, defiled by people that genuinely don't even give a f about you. And again, hookup culture is just that. I'm hooking up. There is no standards. There is no additional things that come along with it. We just gonna link up, and whatever happens, happens. I'm gonna bust it down, and that's it. They don't value you, and then somebody else is supposed to come and pedestalize you for something that you gave to somebody else for free. You think that that makes sense? You think that that's logical? You think that men today that are marriage minded, and then y'all gonna start getting mad at men and say they don't want us, they want each other, or some crap like that, or you know how y'all throw them ad hominem attacks? It don't make sense. But you'll say that because you don't really understand what you've done, and you haven't taken true responsibility of who you are and what you've done. And so now you're not gonna get the results that you want, and you'll wind up having to settle because you are attracting the thing that you are. I'm curious as to what y'all think. Make sure y'all tab inside of the Patreon. Link is in the description. Also, Teach Hanley, 40% off your first order plus 20% off for life. That link is in the description also. I want to read y'all thoughts. Leave them in the chat, and I'm going to read them and I'm going to check them out. I love y'all. I'm going to talk to y'all later. Peace.